Unless you're fully debt free and have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund, there's no need for you to buy stuff. What are we running away from? Hi everyone, this is Dee from Living With Me. Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about the need we have for spending. I want to get to the core of the problem and understand why that is. I know we are being heavily marketed by companies to buy their products. I understand all of that. Even our fellow people, YouTubers we watch, people on the street, everyone's marketing on their own level, pretty much in the same ways that big companies have done for decades. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. It's just a way of paying bills that they have to. I get it. And it's not about that they do that. It's about what they promote. And we all should really be careful of who we watch and what they sell us, because when you start seeing through the filter and what they're proposing, you kind of start becoming a little irritated by it, being more critical about them as well. Now that we know we're being so heavily targeted and marketed from all fronts, not just big companies, I feel like it's very critical and important for us to be very, very mindful and not fall for all the traps and all the marketing that we're being fed. Where am I going with this? I see people in my life, people close to me, immediate circle, people at work who are constantly in purchase mode. And I'm human too. I like buying stuff too. But now that I've been a little bit removed from that lifestyle because I am trying to pay $35,000 off in debt, I see that being surrounded by people who just think of shopping and talking about it openly influences me as well. So I'm not preaching that I'm strong. Oh no, I'm not. I'm in debt because I'm not strong when it comes to spending. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that unless you're fully debt free and have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund, you shouldn't be spending money on anything that is not groceries, hygiene, housing, your four walls. Obviously transportation, because you have to get to work. Traveling is one of the main reasons I am in debt. I love traveling. I love weekend getaways. I love anything that is requiring of me to be on four wheels or in an airplane or to pack my suitcase. It just gives me life. And I want to dig into why that is, that we are seeking all these external approvals, external gratifications, be travel in my case, or spending on expensive shoes, clothes, or cars. So what are we running away from? What are we trying to hide? I'm truly asking, what do you think it is that we're trying to satisfy? So thinking about this got me to this conclusion. And I may be wrong, but I think I'm onto something here. The only person I can dissect to the bone is me. My conclusion is that I'm not fully happy with my life. What does that mean? I love that my family and I are healthy and for the blessings that we have. I'm grateful that we're healthy and able to go to work. I love to make a paycheck and I cannot wait to be fully debt free to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor in a monetary sense. But I think I'm not happy in the sense that I don't have the third place. Then this is my main source of unhappiness, whatever happiness means. So I call it the third place. A place that's not home and it's not work, a place in between. So how can we remedy this? I think first of all, we need to understand that when we buy stuff, we are running away from something and we're buying our unhappiness away. I know that every time I purchase a thing, even if it's a lip gloss that costs $5, I know that I feel a sense of dopamine, whatever chemical it triggers in my brain. I feel a little oomph, and it literally is a little oomph. It lasts for not even 2 minutes, but it gives me enough of a hit to activate me, to give me at least the illusion that I'm happy in the moment. That same oomph, but way longer, better quality, I would get if I would meet up with a friend. I would get if I knew I'm traveling somewhere or I'm doing something I really love, but it's not possible on a day-to-day. So buying something almost cures us a little bit. When I spoke to a colleague the other day at work that I saw day in and day out shop on her computer and kind of research cars. And I asked her, hey, are you buying a car? And she said, yes. And she said, I'm just looking for a better deal. This one is a 2023 or 24, whatever car. I don't understand cars. And I said, how much is it? And she said, oh, it's even just $25,000. The fact that I know that she makes $20 an hour and thinks that $25,000 is not a lot. Okay, I'm not saying this because I judge. I'm just curious. How come we think a $25,000 car is not expensive? It's one thing if you make $1 million a year, $25,000 a year all of a sudden seems like $20 in that ratio. When you make $20 an hour, $25,000 car is all of a sudden a big number, right? I don't know where I read recently, someone said, Jay-Z spent $18,000 on a bill in a restaurant with a few friends one night in New York City. And everyone was like, oh my God, he could have, should have, this and that with that money. This is a waste. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's a lot of money for dinners and a few drinks or a few friends. But he makes what? His net worth is he a billionaire at this point? I don't know. If not, then he's a multi-millionaire. The ratio to what he makes, $18,000 is 180 for someone who makes $100,000 a year. Do you know what I mean? So we have to kind of understand, why are we okay with a $25,000 car when we make only $20 an hour? And I am guilty as charged. I've done things like that too. So I said, oh wow, I didn't say that's not cheap. I didn't want to jump on her emotions and, fill her head. I just said, oh wow, for all as I know, she could maybe think that I think, oh wow, that's cheap, which I didn't think. But when I said, oh wow, she said, oh yeah, but I am going to finance it. Which proves my point. How are we okay with that? It's just so normalized to think that brand new cars are the way to go, although you can't afford them. Where am I going with all of this? I know I'm ranting now. I'm just trying to understand, what are we running away from and how can we fix it? So what I'm trying to find ways to fill the void and the need that I have, the unhappiness, which is really a huge word. I'm not unhappy. It's just whatever I'm running away from and whatever I'm speckling up by purchasing things needs to be dug out and filled in and cushioned and healed. That's what I'm trying to say. So in order to heal the little wounds that we have, the little wounds that are the reason we're spending mindlessly, we need to find the reason for the wound. So I don't have a solution here other than try to analyze what it is and try to know that every purchase you make, you're stealing from yourself and your family. You're creating more wounds, because what do you think will happen if you get in more debt and more debt and more debt? Not a good outcome, trust me. And oh my God, not that long ago, I remember a time where I knew I have a lot of debt on credit cards, and I literally was afraid to look into my statements to have a clear, full picture of my debt, that I just almost as a need, as an urge, just kept spending more on those cards. I don't know, please tell me in the comments below if you ever have experienced this. You know you're in deep debt and you know you're afraid to look at your statements, and yet you spend like you just paid your credit card in full. It's almost like I was possessed. Now that I'm thinking about it, I see that was just a mechanism to trick my brain into believing everything is fine. And also this little dopamine hit will satisfy something in your brain. Guys, I'm sorry if this video is all over the place, but I think these topics are very important. We all know we should budget. We all know we should save money. We all know we should not have debt. But somehow it's really hard for us to get ourselves into the place to get going and get on a protocol. So how do we get there? I think the only reason to get there is to finally understand why we are doing the impulsive shopping that we do, impulsive spending that we do, impulsive everything we do. I want to try and dissect in the best way possible why we are in the place that we are, why we have debt, why we spend the way we spend, and hopefully understand how we can remedy these needs for shopping and spending mindlessly. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this video inspired you in any way, shape, or form to be more mindful about your finances and your life, and maybe I analyze what you're running away from. If you have already identified that you're shopping because you're trying to fill a deeper void inside. I truly know that I am. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!